All right, let's go to the Packers and Bears here. This was a tremendous game. A lot of big playoff implications. You looked at a Bears team coming into the week that was the number one seed in the NFC. And this is the beauty of the National Football League, folks. If you ever think that the NBA is a better league, if you think the MLB is a better league, I'm sorry. The NFL is king. And I think most of us know that here. I think if you're watching the show, you're an NFL fan. And if you're 25 minutes in right now, I appreciate you being here with me. But folks, the NFL is king. You had two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year in the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles that looked unstoppable last year. The Chiefs won 15 games. The Philadelphia Eagles were a buzzsaw and beat everybody on their path badly to winning a Super Bowl. And now here we are less than a year later. I think everybody's got major red flags about the Eagles, and the Chiefs might not even make the playoffs. Then you look at the AFC and you say, well, surely Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, one of those two are going to win the AFC this year. You'd be wrong. Lamar might not even make the playoffs. The Bills have been up and down. That's the beauty of the NFL. And when I look at the NFC right now, and I look at Chicago coming into the week as the number one seed, and they lose, and they are now down to the 7 seed, that's unbelievable. And that's the type of talent and the type of just great teams that we have in the NFC. It's a bloodbath this year. You're looking at Detroit right now, who I think if they get hot, they can make the NFC Championship. I mean, Dallas, if they get hot, I think they can win 2 football games. Like, you've got some ridiculously good teams in the NFC this year. For Chicago to lose and now go to the 7 seed, it's wild. I want to talk about Green Bay here first. They've been really, really good, and they are peaking at the right time, in my opinion. I know it's like, hey, we don't want to give the Packers credit because at the end of the day, you know, they lose to bad teams, but they've actually been playing some really good football. And in the past, it brings me back to 2023 when Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur went on that crazy run in the second half of the year. They got really hot. They went into Dallas. They beat Dallas. They almost beat San Francisco. And this is a team that is peaking at the right time currently. And I think it's so easy to forget that Jordan Love's only been in the NFL starting. Now, this is now year 3. He's only been doing this for about 2.5 years, starting in the National Football League, which is absolutely wild. And when you look at Matt LaFleur and when you look at Jordan Love, when you look at their history together in the months of November and December, from week 10 and on, from 2023, 2024, and 2025. Now, Jordan Love missed like a game or two last year, but from week 10 and on, the Green Bay Packers are 15-5 with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. This is proof that they peak at the right time. Now, obviously, things didn't go their way. Last year with Jordan Love throwing all the interceptions, there was a lot of injuries in that receiving corps. It was ravaged. And I think this year it's looking a lot better. I look at a guy like Christian Watson, who has taken a massive leap off of that torn ACL. Considering the fact that Tucker Kraft is gone, their first round pick, and Matthew Golden really hasn't been this first round stud that we all could have imagined. They're putting the pieces together, and they just got Jaden Reed back. Josh Jacobs is healthy. I've been really, really impressed with this Packers team and the resiliency of them to be in a position where they are 9-3-1, where they can still win the Super Bowl. Like, I think everything is in front of Green Bay right now. And if you would tell me, hey, Caden, wake up, it's February 10th, 11th, whatever the day after the Super Bowl would be, Green Bay won the Super Bowl and Jordan Love's a Super Bowl MVP, I would say, doesn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me one bit. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me one bit, because I think he has the upside of being a top 3 quarterback in football when he plays at his best, when he is drilling throws over defenders into tight windows and getting that Aaron Rodgers step back 3 fadeaway. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, it is a great throw, and he had a few of them this weekend. And I think that's what you get with Jordan Love when you watch him and when he's playing at his best, when he's in rhythm, when he's in that Jordan Love flow state. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And that's what we saw in 2023 when he was, I guess, a pseudo rookie starting his first ever season. They almost went to the NFC Championship and almost beat the San Francisco 49ers, who were in the Super Bowl and almost won it. That's what you get with Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. So I'm not going to write them off of a season last year where they went 11-6. They struggled a little bit in the playoffs, to say the least. But hey, they're peaking at the right time. They're getting healthy. They're getting their guys back. The defense is unbelievable with Micah. It's been so fun to watch this year. And they did a really good job of bouncing back and continuing to ride with the ebbs and flows of a tough divisional game against Chicago. I'll give Chicago credit. They had answers. Every time Green Bay would try and throw that Mike Tyson knockout punch, they were able to withstand the blow, and they were able to come back and return with their own counterpunch. They looked solid. Caleb Williams, he makes about 5 or 6 plays every single game that you're just like, okay, yeah, that's why this dude was taken number 1 overall. That's why this dude was regarded as a generational talent coming into the National Football League. And I think you're really seeing that on display this year with how much more comfortable he looks within this Ben Johnson system. And I think Green Bay did a really good job of slowing him down, making him have some bad decisions. And this defense has been really, really good this year. If there's one thing, if I'm going to sit here and nitpick, I'd like to see them run the ball a little bit better with Josh Jacobs, considering that was the bread and butter of their offense last year with all of the injuries in the receiving corps. Josh Jacobs was like a monster last year. You can make a serious case that if they didn't have him, I mean, they might only win like 7 games last year. I mean, they won 11 games with Josh Jacobs as the primary weapon, as the primary guy on that team, really spearheading what this offense could do. So I was really impressed with his season last year, and I want to see him replicate it. I want to see them run the ball a little bit better. But I think this Packers team has everything in front of them. They can get hot. They can go on a deep run. Jordan Love can be a guy that wins the Super Bowl this year and emerges as a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. It's for the taking this year. The Rams look good. Philly's questionable. Tampa's kind of questionable. Seattle's good. But, you know, I look out there and say, I think it's a really, really a 3-headed race right now between Los Angeles, Green Bay, and Seattle. And there's a lot of great teams in the NFC, but I think those are the true Super Bowl contending elite caliber teams in the National Football Conference when I look at the types of teams that can realistically go blow for blow, can contend on defense, can give you big plays on offense. That's what you get with the Green Bay Packers. I've been really impressed with them this year. On the other hand, when I look at Chicago, I know nobody wants to hear this, because when you're 9-4, when you were the 1 seed a week ago, you've got Super Bowl expectations. That's what emerges from a year that people just wanted to see Caleb Williams show some flash, and he's done that times a million. I mean, he showed that he's going to be a guy. He's showing that he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for a long time to come. And that was what you wanted to see this year. Everybody knew the division was going to be tough, with Minnesota winning 14 games, with Detroit winning 15 games, with Green Bay winning 11 games last year. It was like, can we just look decent? Can we look halfway decent? And this team was the number 1 seed in the NFC a week ago with your second-year quarterback that's looked at times like an MVP contender. And I think right now, nobody wants to hear this. I think the Bears are playing with house money right now. And people are going to be like, dude, shut up. We want to win the Super Bowl. I get it. I get you want to win the Super Bowl, and I understand that. But I think also you have to be a tad bit realistic with the type of competition that is in the NFC. If you guys make the playoffs, that's a massive win. If you guys win 10 games and don't make the playoffs, that's a massive win with how tough the NFC is. Now, I think they will make the playoffs. I think they could even win a playoff game. But regardless, getting to the postseason in this brutal of an NFC, where you had a 10-win Seattle Seahawks team last year that didn't even make the playoffs, I think that's what we're looking at this year. You might have Detroit, who wins 11 football games, folks, that doesn't make the playoffs. That's how tough the NFC is. Chicago, if they can get 12 wins, 11 wins, oh my gosh, that's a major win. And nobody wants to hear that because obviously, our expectations rise as you see a team play well, as you see a team go into Philadelphia and pull off a massive win. And I think Chicago has looked really good. I've been really impressed with the culture that Ben Johnson has already instilled in less than a full year. That's really good stuff. That is really, really good stuff. They are running the ball at a high level. We saw all these explosives. We saw all these cool trick plays, this high-flying passing attack in Detroit last year when Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator. I was almost wondering, what is that going to look like in Chicago? And they've come out there and they've just almost taken that Dan Campbell mentality. Hey, we're going to bite your kneecaps off in the run game. And they've been really, really good. And they've been physical and they have really run the ball at a high level. And I think that's what's surprised me and impressed me the most when I look at Chicago. And obviously that helps out Caleb Williams. That helps out what he's trying to do. And when they can run the ball and he's able to play action off of that and do his thing, get outside the pocket, make plays, get mobile. That's what he does best. That's Caleb Williams. That's the guy that we saw win the Heisman Trophy at USC. So I look at this Bears team, and I know nobody wants to hear it, but they are playing with house money right now. This has been a really, really good season. You obviously want to finish strong. 4 games left, close out the shooter, but we'll see what Chicago can do. But this has been a great season so far for them.